I have waged war against the Teutonic Order, and I have won, taking the counties of Gdansk, Tuchola, and Kelmno. I was about to core them, possibly reduce war exhaustion first. We're suffering attrition? Where? Okay, we're not actually. That's probably just left over from last month. We're probably going to have an uprising there eventually. And I am willing to spend 75 to bring my war exhaustion down a little bit. And I'm going to wait to core those until it has come all the way down. Yes, I'm one of those people. We've got the time. I'm not going to be declaring another war anytime soon. Pomerania hates us because we didn't give them what they wanted as part of that war deal. So, hey, it's Muscovy. Yeah, let's declare Muscovy as a rival. I need to call one of my merchants back. Let's call the one from that, or not merchants, my diplomats back. And I want to revoke the embargo with the Teutonic Order. And initiate a new embargo with Muscovy. But, yeah, I don't plan on declaring war anytime soon, so I can let my war exhaustion tick down a little bit. And I mentioned my merchants accidentally, but I looked around, and I think the Baltic Sea is where I will ultimately want my primary trade node to be, or my, primary collecting node to be. If I do plan on, since I do plan on trying to conquer the Russians. That alliance will break. We'll have to find a new alliance. Oh well. Something about estates though, real quick. The clergy will want some land. And I did see that there was... I think it was Halych. It's only an 8 development count province. Did it again. Almost did it again. But the clergy wants more land, and that's a low development province that it's got grain as its primary, or it's got grain as its trade good, and tax income is one of its higher levels, so or is one of its higher developments. So yeah, let's give that to the clergy. And my manpower and armies need to recover. I did lower maintenance, right? Yeah. And we need to pay back that loan as soon as we can, just so that we don't just so I don't have to worry about it and don't risk having to extend it. But that was the other thing. I wanted to say something else about the estates. So, the burghers don't need to control any land. They expect to control at least 0%. And they control Poznan, was it? And I think Poznan's a 17 development county with a relatively good trade resource, even though, like, the burghers being charged to make autonomy not affect trade. I'm going to revoke this from them because I'd rather have all of it. I'd rather have no autonomy there. It's going to reduce their loyalty, which will piss them off, and reduce our trade. It'll increase our development costs and reduce our trade efficiency. But I'm okay with that for a little while. It'll tick back up to rest at 50. And it'll tick up at about 1.1 a year, or yeah. So wow, that's a lot. That's a long time, isn't it? Maybe that wasn't such a good idea, but I don't care either. I don't really care anyway. The nobility also only expect to control 10% of land, and I'm going to slowly start revoking some of that land from them. Actually, maybe that's not such a good idea, because as I grow, they will want more control of land. So I think I'm going to leave them alone. Provincial unrest, that's going to be high for a while. I'm willing to let it get a little bit high because we're not in a war, and I'm willing to deal with rebellions. So let's move the time forward. And we did embargo Muscovy, our new rival, and so I want to send, of course I miss a month of improving relations because that's just how I roll. How long has Mazovia been? Pomerania broke their alliance with us. Mazovia has been a vassal for how long? Okay, so technically start of the game. So 10 years, January 1st, 1454. And I think in the next year the Renaissance should fire, which not going to be so good because I think we'll be slow to embrace it, which sucks. Once Moldavia maxes out, I'll revoke the March Hood. They've got 59 more to go, and that's going to reduce their opinion by about 200 something. But it won't be terrible per se. And annexing Mazovia is actually going to be even worse because they will. That'll also add a negative opinion. Hey, we're getting sailors because of Danzig. Right. And of course, once I send my diplomat back, I can offer an alliance to Bohemia. I'm considering that. They're very powerful, they're close to us. Novgorod would take an alliance now. They're still at war with Denmark. I think that's the better alliance, actually. And they're also rivals with the Livonian Order. They're rivals with two of my rivals and one of my other targets. So, yeah. They will be... actually, maybe. I kind of don't want to do that because Lithuania will... Lithuania will not have another... That will be one less thing Lithuania can fabricate a claim on. But... if I do end up at war with Muscovy... actually... I'll say Kaluga, or... I want to set those provinces as interest to my conquest. And you know what? Let's go with all of those. Actually, I probably should check Novgorod's interests. Whoop, nope, don't do that. That's a province of strategic utility. So let's revoke that one. And hope that Lithuania fabricates on something. And that's not Novgorod. And I will offer Novgorod an alliance when I can. Right, the burghers are disloyal. That I already said I don't care about. The surrender of Maine, meaning the 100 Years' War is back on, I think. Apparently not. No? Nope, they're already at war. I don't know what triggers the actual 100 Years' War stuff, but France is at war with a significant group of people, and they're losing. Burgundy and the Burgundian conquest of Barrois, and they're attacking Aragon in the French conquest of Roussillon. And Aragon, of course, didn't have any rivals, so smart move, Aragon. We're at 100 gold. We need 7 more. I thought we only needed 105 to pay off our loan. But in about 4 more months, we'll be able to pay back our loan. Alright, no. Wait for it. Now. Go offer an alliance to Novgorod. Okay. I'll turn these forts back on. And move these guys because I do not want Denmark to come and kill my guys. I will let Lithuania, in fact, be aggressive, all of you. Or no focus for the smaller vassals. Lithuania, go do what you do best and stomp Denmark's face. And I do want to keep an eye on my own armies. Don't attach anyone. Oh, that does mean my monthly war exhaustion is going to stay low. Or stay high for now. Who has disputed successions? Bohemia, Denmark, England, Aragon, Nassau, and Navarre. Just little estates. Winter's coming. That's not a Game of Thrones reference. Well, it is, but the winter in Russia should be very harsh on their attrition. Last jousting tournament, we can feel it in the wind. Soon our equestrian elite will be nothing more than a dream remembered. As the chivalrous tradition dies out before the onslaught of modernity, the world is changing, but for now, for one last time, then let the Knights of Poland ride. Forward to glory. So much for having lose 30 splendor? I didn't know that cost splendor. Yeah, we're unlikely to do most of those. We might hold a large city at one point. I doubt we'll control 5 centers of trade. We're definitely not going to discover America. We'll probably embrace the Renaissance, but I don't know how quickly. And also probably not going to hold 3 thrones. The only 3 I can see possibly being viable goals in this era or this age are large city, Renaissance, and humiliate rival. But I don't tend to prioritize humiliation as much as I probably should. Sure. Take military access. See? Normal winter. Except that's not as good. The Novgorod fleet is taking on the Norwegian one. I really don't want these guys to come into my land and just absolutely destroy my army. You lose money there. I don't know. Only a 10 supply limit? That's a 16. And 23. 21. I don't mind those ones, I guess. I could go hide them way down south. Doesn't sound like too bad of an idea. As long as the Russians as long as the Danes don't come down and try to kill me. Okay, alright. Everything's moving. There's the Holstein army. I have to do it. Those generals, man. I think those guys saved my ass because the 5 shock and actually that general was more he was better for his siege value, but this guy was pretty good getting him right off the bat too. When we die, God judges immediately and decides a soul's fate until it awaits the last judgment. A monk has started a doctrinal dispute that verges on the edge of heresy when he claimed that there was no purgatory and saying prayers for the dead would not assist their passage into heaven. These disputes are threatening the very unity of our church. He is probably a heretic. Gain reform desire and gain papal influence, or Catholicism loses reform desire and we gain unrest. Not right now. These guys can go there. Looks like they lost that battle. Kind of sucks. I'm probably going to eventually support Sweden's independence, which will weaken Denmark significantly. Hopefully. Nope. Go back. Bad idea. Denmark's coming down to... Alright. Yeah, I'm just gonna mostly stay out of this. My allies' army should be able to take on, or my vassals' army should be able to take on the combined threat of the Kalmar Union. I'm willing to let those guys let the rebels fire. I will increase the maintenance to, sadly, there. And I'll just have to keep an eye on my forts, or enemies coming past my forts, because then it's possible that my troops become, or my armies become endangered. Influenza spreads again. Somebody's not quarantining their shit. What? Oh, I could have invested in tech. Denmark has low enthusiasm. We have medium. Novgorod has low. France won their war. I don't know who wouldn't have seen that coming. They had all of Aragon sieged out. The Renaissance. Since the 14th century, the wealthy and powerful in the... Are you kidding me? Ah, damn it. This might be bad. Okay, I did have my armies at partial maintenance, so they're not gonna die immediately. Take this guy in. Even though the other guy would get there faster. We'll get there on the 14th of January. Hopefully those guys can hold out, but for a couple weeks. Since the 14th century, the wealthy and powerful in the Italian city-states have been patronizing artists and scholars willing to explore the old Roman and Greek societies of their forefathers. As a cultural movement, the Renaissance already encompasses most of the region and has had a profound impact on literature, art, philosophy, and music. Humanist scholars are also analyzing the society in which they live, comparing it to the ideas of the classical philosophers. At the turn of 1451, Renaissance humanism has grown into a more mature movement, ready to permeate all aspects of society. A new ideal for rulers as well as those who are ruled is spreading as quickly as the early printers can distribute copies of these new ideas. A true Renaissance humanist is an expert on everything from politics and philosophy to art, textual analysis, music, and architecture. The Renaissance is now ready to reshape the world to better fit its classical ideas. This changes everything. Yes, it does, and it means we're going to start being behind on tech. Where did it spawn? Luca? Yes. What are our vassal opinions looking like? Alright. Get there. Please. No! Damn it. Denmark accepted peace with their former enemies Novgorod. Denmark will annul all treaties with Muscovy. Denmark will pay 54 ducats to Novgorod and its allies. Poland will get 7th of this amount. Alright. You gained 4 favors. And I'm going to activate this fort. We lost. Of course we did. We'll combine our armies. Bohemian separatists have occupied Lao. Cardinal Minister, one of the cardinals in Poland, has proven to be a skilled administrator and already provides useful advice to the Grand Duke. At this point, making him a minister in our government would almost be only a formality, but an important formality nonetheless. Since he may grow more powerful yet, having a cardinal in our service would certainly lend us credibility with the Pope and strengthen the sentiment that Poland is a Catholic nation first and foremost. He has aided us well so far, so let us get the formality over with. We get stability cost modifier. We lose tolerance of heretics. How long does recent uprising last? 10 years? Almost 10 years anyway? No, it is 10 years. Yeah, I'll take it. And we get it lasts for 20 years. Sure. Move our troops together and... Should I take the admin tech level now or risk waiting a year to hopefully get a minus 5% discount? No, we'll do it now. We'll combine those. Do a soft consolidate. A shift consolidate, if you will. Our truce with Lithuania has ended. I don't think that's an issue. Ugh. If we go into Podle, will they attack us? I don't think it... Yes, they will. Okay. On the 11th of May, they'll arrive. Hopefully we can push them back. Good. And now we have almost no troops. Split them in half. It's 12 and 3 and 12 and 3. Stop leading the army, Zygmunt. I don't want you to die unnecessarily. And reduce army maintenance again. And now we have even fewer troops than before that rebellion. Amazing how that works. But What is our war exhaustion at? Oh, it's almost... The war exhaustion's almost gone. And then I need to save up more admin. I could do it now if I had the admin, actually. Oh, well, that's what I get for waiting, right? We have 68 power projection because we accepted that call to arms. Wait. Why didn't they didn't call us into this war? Alright. That sucks. That plan backfired. Okay, they declared a war against Toyer. So hopefully they don't take everything else as well. When does this loan come due? 2 years? Hopefully we can get some... Alright, we'll have some money to pay it off, hopefully. Anyway.